Welcome jumping students. This is the Winter Classic at Hartpury and we are going to do a course walk. So we are very fortunate to have Paul Connor with us today, and he's going to take us through the course and the effects that it may have for the riders and the horses. Hello Paul.
Hi Claire, hi everybody. So I'm Paul Connor. I'm a level 5 British show jumping course designer and also an FBI level 3 course designer and BS, so British show jumping judge. So this year the course has actually been designed by Chrissy Spiller. This isn't my design, but it'd be good to actually walk around it and have a little look and see what some of the questions she's asked for this level of show. So this level, as Claire said, is a Winter Classic show, so it's an E3 show, which is sort of up a little bit of a level from the normal sort of Monday to Friday show, or your weekend show if you like. So we're going to start and have a little bit about like what the first class is. So the first class is a newcomers class, so it's a 110 class, run over single phase. And the questions obviously for this class will be slightly different to what Chrissy will want for the bigger classes, particularly the sort of 135 working towards the Grand Prix and some of the qualifiers that we've also got. So as you can see, we've got a lovely big arena here at Hartpury. Number one, nice fence, plenty of room to get to it, something for the horse to look at, and then a nice inviting fence. So a little bit of obviously something for the riders to be a little bit aware of is the location of it, because it is just by the in-gate. So again, if you can sort of see plenty of room, but again, some horses might just sort of have a little look at that, but again, at this level show, you would expect a lot of people to have been out and about. But unfortunately, with the COVID this year, there is some sort of, going to be some a little bit greener than others. So number one, nice inviting fence. And then you can see quite clearly with loads of space to get to number two. So again, height-wise, this fence, like I said, is a nice inviting fence, a metre 5 high, which is good to start with. But thinking a little bit about obviously the safety aspects, we have to make sure that all the back rails have what we call the safety cups on. That's so that if a horse hits it, the cup falls out and the pole drops. All right. So again, that's a little bit of a safety element that's been in now for several years, but is a good one. So number two is on a line from number one. So we'll walk it. Okay, so nice level 6 strides. Again, there's plenty of room. It's on a slight curve, so again, it's up to the riders to walk that course and think how they're going to be riding that line. To me, it walks nice and even, and good approach to number one. Get going to number two, nice and easy for the horses to move on to. Plenty of room on the landing. So again, a little bit. Keep the balance, keep the rhythm, keep the tempo, plenty of room. Number three is to the right of us, so again, plenty of room for everybody to regain their balance and rhythm again. So we're just going to stop here a sec. But, again, thinking about, we're walking this line, it's very important to walk the line that you're going to ride, because it puts you and sets you up in the right place for number three. Number two, like I said, there's lots of room here, which is really good. But, again, you've got to be careful that you don't sort of come too tight to this red and white fence. Again, it's crucial to have a nice straight approach to this. On a related distance on a straight line. again, so we've got a what we call the Hartpury sport fence. So in a competition like this, it's very usual to have sponsor fences. Okay, which we'll pick up a little bit more in a minute with the NAF fence. So this has got quite a solid filler. All right. So again, the horses, we've had quite a nice easy 1 and 2. So this could just be a little bit sort of like back some horses off and just make them have a little think about what this fence is. And then there's a related distance into a 10-foot wide fence. So again, a little bit of the line is a bit of a question. But again, it's, we'll walk the distance, but a little bit the rider needs to be aware to make sure that they've got the horse straight for the 2 fences, not just this one. So a nice 5 strides. Again, a little bit of a flimsy type fence because it is 10 foot. Again, the depth of the cups that we've got, these yellow cups are 18mm cups, so they're the shallower cups which are on the top. It's quite solid, so again, there's enough for the horse to look at this line just to keep the horse thinking about its job. Again, width of this fence. The overall width is 120, so that's what it should be for this class. So it's it's a nice fence to, again, nice big wings, so there's enough to keep the horse occupied. Okay, so again, the line from 4 to 5 is nice. You think about a 20-metre arc. Okay, so horses again, need that 20 metres sort of to be able to turn. So we've got a nice straight line, nice curve in bending line, and then we can get straight to this. So this level and this class, the water tray is compulsory. But again, it is something that you need to be a little bit aware of. Again, the tendency here could be to override the turn and sort of break the rhythm a little bit, get tight. But even though there's plenty of room to come around, making sure that you get nice and straight to this fence. And then again, excuse me, you've got a nice long run down to the next fence. So that could also be a little bit of a problem with a slightly less experienced horse because there's a long way to number 6. Again, it's important to make sure that we ride the line and walk the line, because the line to the fence is what we walk. The horse doesn't walk that. So like I said, it's a long way down here. You can find your own stride, you can pick what you want to, but again, walking it makes me just think, well actually it's nice even distance on whatever stride I come to. But there's plenty of room to sort of jump your water tray, get the horse rebalanced, and then find your line for this vertical. With the little fillers and 3 poles on it, it's nice because it gives the horse something to look at, even though it's a little bit of a narrow fence. But again, it's into the corner, so we have a little bit of a thought here. Some horses might not want to land and go forward, particularly if there's a lot going on in that corner. But again, like jumping at this sort of show, you would expect to make sure that there's enough balance after the fence. Yeah? So what Chris has done here, she's actually given the first double as the last fence in the first phase. So she's got everybody going, she's given you lots of room to get to everything and get jumping. Again, a little bit, you know, the double, you've got to make sure that you're straight to it, make sure you're thinking about the line. A little bit of the tendency here for some riders would be that they're going into the jump off part of all the second phase, which is the time part. So they might be thinking, well actually I want to try and shoot in there and get that turn. But again, the natural way the horse might bulge and run out through the right hand shoulder here. So it's important to jump this fence correctly. And again, so one stride, nice easy one stride. A lot of white on the fence, a lot of wing, you know, to keep the horse in. So, you know, again, it should jump fine. But again, as it's a single phase competition, both phases are timed for time allowed. The second phase is the timed section, which is what you want to be thinking about now if you want to win the class. Okay, you're going to start to think about some of the turns. So the changeover line is here. Again, cut there so that if somebody wants to jump and scoot through here, because we're coming back to this naff fence. Okay,
so will you expect some people to go through there?
I think if they want to win the class.
If they want to win the class, they're going to have to do it.
And again, at this level show, we would be expecting sort of some riders to be trying to win the class as well.
So would you expect them to come in on a left-hand line to the fence to go round, or would they diagonal?
Yeah, so I think a lot of riders will come straight and then drop and then turn.
Okay.
But you might get some which will actually be a little bit aware of that turn. So we'll come slightly on the angle across there.
I suppose it's an upright at the
It's
end.
an upright coming out, so again,
It's easier.
You know, Chris has thought of that because if it was an oxer coming out, you know, it wouldn't be so easy to ride that turn, so we might have blocked off this turn to
stop them.
stop that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we've jumped number 7 and we're going into the time section of this class.
Either going inside line or outside line. Outside line is quite a long line.
I think the outside line is a long line, but again, there's a couple of options here. You've got your outside line to an inside line here, cut inside this fence, or scoot
Go inside
through.
this one.
Yeah, or you can come tight to that. So there's 3 options here. And again, it's just back to vertical. Again, with this, which is one of the sponsor fences, Natural Animal Feeds sponsor a lot, so this is their fence which we have to put in all the classes. Again, it's a nice fence, it jumps well. The thing with this is there's a little bit of an optical illusion because the wings part of where the poles go is actually quite thin and narrow, and then the actual bigger bulky part of the wing is low. So when it gets a bit bigger, not this looks in proportion, but when the poles come up here it looks quite a bigger fence. Yeah. So again, having the black board at the bottom, again some horses might just have a little look at that, but again it does give them something to jump and back off of to jump it. So moving on from here, again thinking a little bit about, there's now a run to number 9. So again, the line again is quite an open line. the riders are going to walk that and think, well, actually, I might take a stride out there, or I might just pop, ride straight and then turn. So again, it's a little bit like you'll see some riders that will actually want to just jump a double clear, which will probably go for the safer sort of option, and you'll get some that will turn and then move and things like that to try and get to win the class. Again, it's a little bit of it's quite a wide officer. Again, maximum 120. And again, there's a turn back which we'll go to now. But again, it's important that when you've had a turn, a big officer like this, you don't suddenly then squeak the horse in the mouth and sort of like have a bit of a spin back. So plenty of room on the landing again to jump the fence, plenty of room to get to it. So again, a nice pillar to sort of keep them off it. So again, thinking a little bit about, obviously this section could be a little bit spooky, so you might get the horse sort of rock the shoulder a little bit. Again, a little bit thinking about what's going on after the fence. We've got to make sure that we give enough room to rebalance. Done. Coming down to this side here. A little bit of a question. Again, it's a 10-foot line, so it's narrower, but the first part's got bigger wings, which is a nice solid ring, but it's actually a little bit delicate, so just having 3 poles like that's a little bit delicate. But then the wings on number 11 are quite subtle. Okay, nice wings, but they're subtle. So again, with the 2 fillers in the middle, and again, the horses will just maybe have a little look at those fillers.
They might look at that before they jump this.
Yeah, so they might have their eye on that rather than this, and because there's not a lot in this to keep them off of it, keep them occupied.
Those night lights.
There is
little light cups again.
Four nice easy strides. Again, it's not too long, so if somebody does come a little bit shorter there is, there's plenty of space in here to sort of like pick up the stride again. You can come on a nice line, it gives the horse a little bit more time to have a look at this fence. Again, some riders might be thinking about where number 12 is positioned, but the natural line will be to go around the back of the water tray into number 12. But you could, there is an opportunity to jump inside there.
Or just jumping the water tray backwards.
There is an option to do that, which is quite
It's achievable.
But again, from a distance,
Through
you
there.
might find that a lot of people do actually come around the edge. If you want to hit the bar, you might do that before you get through. Take a chance. What Chris has done here, because of that all in mind, what we just said, it's actually only 1 metre wide. So if somebody does come inside there, this isn't too much of a spread on this, so that actually it won't be that difficult to jump.
They might just jump the yellow massive thing, mightn't they?
In which case
They'll land over there.
Actually will set up. So if you look at everything so far, the lines are flowing, but there's some options there for people to take if they want to. And again, a little bit, a bit of a run to the last. Jump down the bottom. Again, there's another option to do here. Number 1.
That's tight.
Some of the verticals.
You'd have to be pretty well schooled to jump 12 to 13 and come inside, wouldn't you?
Got to make that decision whether you want to just keep everything smooth. Sometimes it's on the outside line.